Okay, welcome back everybody to my Space Engineer's Beginner's Guide. This is episode 14, and whilst I've not introduced myself properly before, I on Twitch here go by the name of Malbathla. On this team I actually go by the name of Caladan. Unfortunately been taken on Twitch here, although I've been using that name there for the last 30 odd years. That said, welcome to my beginner's guide. I believe we're probably nearing the conclusion of my beginner's guide. It's starting to get down to those last little bits of beginner information that I can think of anyway. But for now, we shall continue with what we're doing. Now, if you recall last episode, we finished off as well. We used our little mining ship here and we collected a whole stack of resources, and we dumped all those resources into our refinery so that it can start refining, which it's doing quite nicely. Let's just plant ourselves down here. And as you can see, we picked up quite a lot of materials initially, so it's just going to sit there and churn through those as we go. Now, before we actually finally do get around to finishing this series, which, like I said, I think we're getting close to it, but not just yet. There's a few other types of blocks that I haven't actually touched on at this point in time, so I thought we'd just go over them briefly for now. They're, in a lot of respects, I think they're a little bit more of an advanced subject because of the power and functionality behind them. I think I may have mentioned them in passing, and there are a lot of very talented people out there that will provide the tools to do lots of various things with your creations and grids. Namely, what I'm referring to, what I'm leading up to, are programmable blocks and associated timers. Now, I put the two of them together because in most cases, if you're going to put in a programmable block, you will also put in a timer block to go with it. So let me just grab one of each. That's a timer block, that's a programmable block. Just so that we can have a look at it and see what they're all about. It does mean we have to build them up, but that's not a problem. We just, in fact, we'll build them up over here near this. Any person who's got a bit of a background in software development or programming might recognise the term programmable block. I have come across it when it comes to program flow and schemas, I should say, for development. That's just the way I utilise the term programmable block or program block. And in this case, it's pretty accurate. A programmable block is, well, it's a block that lets you add a program. Now, what is a program? Well, a program in this case is a modified, I won't say modified, it is a C# programming language that it utilises. And I'm distracting myself and not paying attention to what I need. That talks directly to the game API. Some of them. And that lets you do a lot of very cool things with the actual game. Large motor and displays. Let's just quickly build this up and we can have a look at it. Large tubes, motors, displays. Alright, and as you can see, the programmable block actually looks like a computer terminal, and that's because it's exactly what it is. Now, the way most programs used, a program in a programmable block, when run, or that is the actually term that is used. If we come in here, programmable block has got run. When it is run, it executes whatever the program is and stops. That's it. You can't have loops in your code. Sorry, it's not recommended to put loops in your code so that when you run a program in a programmable block, it just continues to run and run and run. It will actually bog your game down, it will consume resources, consume memory, and you could potentially end up crashing the game. So what we do is we tie it to a timer block. Now, a timer block is exactly as the name implies. It is a block that you can set a time delay or a time interval on, and it will do something every interval. So if we come into our terminal for it, timer block, you can see we can set our delay. In this case, it's set for 10 seconds. We can set up actions to perform, and then we can start them and stop them. Now, at this stage, set up actions, you can see there is actually nothing here. And as you can see, we've got a lot. We've got 9 on the toolbar, but we can also go to that's what it is. Set up actions, jump out of that now. And we can go to second toolbar, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So, believe it or not, there is actually 10 toolbars of 9 points, 9 elements. And if you want, you can actually have it, and they will execute sequentially. So every time the timer block fires, it will execute whatever you've got in these slots in order. It'll do one action, then the next, then the next, then the next, until it runs out of actions to do across all of the toolbars, in which case it stops. But then the timer block is set to then repeat that every delay interval, whatever you set. Like I said, in this case we've got it set for 10 seconds, but it is set by default at 10 seconds. Now, when you utilize these two things together, programmable block and timer block, the way we do it is we go into our timer block, we go set up actions, we find our program, and we say every interval run the program. If it has anything you need to pass to the program each time, you can put it in here, otherwise you can just go confirm, or you can just drag it down here and say run with default arguments, which is nothing, passing nothing through. Okay, so every interval it will run the program, because the program only runs the once. But we want it to also do the loop again. Let me just demonstrate. We'll remove that for the moment. The delay and the timer block. When you hit run, it will wait that delay and then execute whatever actions there are. And then it stops. It doesn't keep looping. It will wait the delay you set. You can actually set it up to, what, an hour? So you can say start, and it will sit there and just tick down an hour, and when the hour is up, it will execute whatever actions you've got in there. So, when utilised in conjunction with a programmable block, most people, most developers, most script writers recommend 1 second, or even maybe just a couple of seconds, 1 or 2 seconds. But the way you set it up is every interval, count down the 1 or 2 seconds, then run the program, and then start the programmable block again. Now what that does is it counts down 2 seconds, and then the action says go and run the program and then start the countdown again. And when it gets down to 0 again, it runs the program and then starts the countdown again. So we've now created a loop. So in this case, it's got nothing in there. Let me just clean it up. There we go, no errors now. So now we can hit start, and I've left it so you can actually hear it. And as you can see, it's counting down 2 seconds and starting again, because in the actions we've told it to do exactly that. It runs the program and starts again, run the program, start again, and it just keeps going over and over again. And that's how you include a looping or a program or script that will continue execution without consuming resources and interfering with the game. Now, at the moment, we've got nothing in our programmable block. It literally is a null block. It's got nothing here. If you notice, it's an empty program block, it's an empty save block, it's an empty main block. Any person who's had any knowledge of programming will recognise all three of these, especially this one. This is the central block that is always called when you run any program. It always starts with main. So, where do we get information about this? How do we write code? There's a code editor. What do we load into a programmable block? Well, there are a lot of very, very smart and intelligent developers out there in the community who have written some wonderful scripts that you can load into programmable blocks to enhance your gameplay, to add to it. Just off the top of my head, there's scripts to handle refinery management, assembler management, inventory management. There's scripts to control solar arrays so that they can track the sun, so you can get the maximum output from your solar panels. When you put certainly when you set up solar panels on rotors, so that they can rotate track either horizontally and vertically. There is a couple of beautiful scripts out there that do amazing jobs at tracking the sun during the day. There's total management scripts. There's a couple of them that are really good for that. And the list goes on. The workshop has got absolute multitude. I use a small set of scripts pretty much all the time on every ship, base, platform that I actually build. I'll end up using some programmable blocks running some dedicated scripts. Any person who has actually played the game, who's probably familiar with them, make use of TIM to inventory management, which actually goes way beyond inventory management in my opinion. It's amazing for control of and manipulation of resources within a base. Automatic LCDs too is great for information output and formatting of data on LCD screens. What else do I use? Floor plan, which, as the name implies, is really good at giving an overview of your base from top, left, right, bottom, whatever. It will actually highlight blocks that get damaged, a lot of other things like that. ISIS has got, and I mentioned this before, a really good solar management, solar panel alignment script. Invaluable. I use that all the time. I set up a solar array. That script is the one I actually load in to actually use it. So, if we browse the workshop, as you can see, I've got these ones down here are coming from the workshop themselves. The ones up there are scripts that I've unpacked and I run locally, or scripts that I am working on myself. Yeah, as you can see, airlock controls, there is some really nice stuff. Item sorting. And to give you an idea, let's have a look at... Yeah, that one's a good one to look at. If we load that in, then here's what a typical script looks like. This one's a very good script, this is what it looks like. And it looks like a program. So the average Joe out there who hasn't got experience with programming will look at this and go, what the heck? Just be rest assured that the developer of this script has tested it thoroughly, and the community has tested it thoroughly, and what you've got here is something that is talking to the Space Engineers game itself and manipulating various aspects of the game through a script that is actually loaded into a game element. It's not actually part of the game, it's something that's an addition to the game. And when you hit check code, it literally compiles that, compilation successful, and now that rotor is not found. See, it's now giving us information because you can hear the ticking in the background. A time block is firing over and over again. So it's trying to actually run the script each time. This script is not actually set up because we don't have any solar arrays here. So the developer actually has given us some information to say that, hey, we've got no solid rotors, we can't do anything. So a programmable block is a very nice addition. It's the first time I've actually seen this sort of thing used in a game, and it's easy to access. I know a lot of other games have used my pronunciation is always wrong. I don't know. It's a scripting language anyway, that lets you script certain elements of the game. This gives you a full interface to the actual internals of the game, and the information about all these internals is fairly available on the internet. They've got a GitHub page that you can actually look up the different functions. You can look up, for example, I saw some down here before. This here. What is this? My motor stator, for example. Where else? Lots of other things down here. Just when you're looking for them, you can't see them. Yes, yeah, rotor set values. On my cube grid. What is that? What does that relate to? There's the motor stator again. That's, as you can tell by the context, it's dealing with rotors. So that's the basics of a programmable block and how it's utilised with a timer block. Let's just stop here. Don't need to keep on going. And like I said, if you do have some knowledge of programming, it's not that hard to actually understand the internals of the API and how it works. I don't call myself an advanced programmer at all, but I have, if you may have seen up here, Auto Miner. I'll actually quickly load it up. It's didn't take me long to put this together. It is an autonomous mining script, believe it or not, using ray tracing for distance calculations and positional calculations. No, I don't want to save changes. That lets me, it's still a work in progress, but it lets me build an autonomous drone that will mine autonomously. It finds the asteroids, it plows through the asteroids, it keeps doing so until it's full, then it will home back to base. I'm actually at the stage of writing an auto docking system for it, but that's been put on the back burner at this stage. I've got some other things to clarify and clean up in it first. But that's the programmable block and its associated timer and how it's used. I will actually quickly load in, for example, automatic LCDs too. I find this one's really quite nice. It's a nice quick one we can load in. Now, this timer setup is a little bit different for this particular one. And there's a couple of others that are different like this as well. The floor plan script, for example, is also different. Whilst we've got call the programmable block and then call that timer again, this one has the ability to be able to execute more often than 1 second, which is the minimum setting on our timer block. And the way we do that is, let's just remove the start timer again. But with the timer block, we tell it to trigger now, which bypasses the timing, bypasses that 1 second. It says run the execute the programmable block, and then execute the timer again straight away. Don't wait for the delay, just do it. And then the control is actually all taken care of in the program. What we also do is we have to start in after this trigger now. That just allows the game to automatically start this timer block on a save game mode, for example, and just make sure that it actually triggers up. So we can now hit trigger now on that, and as you can see here, and if you listen underneath the sound, it almost sounds like a cricket. Let's just turn it off. There we go, the cricket's gone. But as you can see by the flickering here, it's executing way quicker than 1 second. So what does that script do? Well, let's set ourselves up an LCD panel. Okay, this is good enough. Don't go away, that one. What do we need? Interior plate. computers on me? No, we'll make it some of them too. Alright, so let's just build it up there. It's as good a place as any. Ugh. Of course. There we go. Alright. So far, nothing. So we need to tell this particular program to use this LCD. Now, I know from experience that the way we do that is we simply put square brackets around the word LCD here. And let's see what happens when we've done that. Oh, look at this. Write commands to custom data of this panel is what it says, and we can't see that because we need to change our font size.